Howdy y'all, Los here. Sadly, it's the end of the season, end of the growing season. It is now fall here in Austin, Texas, in which, by the way, we've moved from 8B to 9A in the USDA hardiness zone. Isn't that cool? Check it out. But that being said, I thought it'd be fun if we looked at all the different trees that we worked on this year. Let's start with our Yamadori back here. Let's go. All right, this here is the Yamadori challenge slab, and it's been growing really well. It's getting in its fall color. That's how I know it's fall. We get fall color, right? It's about time. What can I say? It always was really hot this summer, so I piled on a lot of extra moss. What I don't like about this is this little kink here. I would think it would be better to perhaps cover it up with more soil, bring the soil line up a little more. It's very odd there how it just sort of comes up and over, but may tell a story. Perhaps it was eroding. Maybe there was enough land here and it eroded away. Besides that, the rock placement is just odd. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look natural. A lot of it is coming off anyway, so I'm kind of happy with that because I want it to come off, and that's going to expose all the roots, which that looks natural. So I'm encouraging these rocks to just come off. All right, that's the Yamadori slab. All right, this here is one of the first trees we worked on, actually. It is the Yaupon Holly, the Yaupon Holly. I don't know why I keep saying Yaupon, but I'm gonna say Yaupon Holly from now on. And we worked on it earlier. It was actually probably one of the second videos this season. And we took it out of its old nursery pot and put it into its own container finally. One thing that we got to take care of is take care of all these roots that aren't doing anything and aren't adding anything to the composition overall. But I think this is turning out to be quite a nice little tree. Probably needs to be brought up on that angle. But besides that, I think we're looking good. That is the Yaupon Holly. All right, here is one of the 3 Yamadori we got from Spring Branch this year. The other 2 did not make it, as we suspected. One of them looked good, the other one looked okay. This one absolutely was going to make it. This was the one that I just pulled right up off the slab, and it just came up, all the roots and everything. And I just have let it sit here and grow and grow and grow. I haven't seen too much progress, but lots of nice new growth on the tips here, very evident. The landscape is looking very much like the land that we walked on. All right, I'm seeing some sort of like fungus right here. Now that could be good, that could be bad. Boy, I hope it's not bad. Time will tell. And if you know what it is, let us know. All right, here's the next one. It's the Hackberry, and boy, it's in rough shape. Not much that I've been doing to it, just left it alone, but the whole top, as you can see here, died off, which I wanted to bring it down anyways because I thought it was a little too tall, so that kind of helped, and I may do some carving or deadwood or something. What happened, it got too dry one day in the heat. I lost a couple trees because of that heat wave we had. This one bounced back a bit and a lot more shoots came down towards the bottom, and I lost a lot of the top, which may be good because I did want to bring it down anyways, and we do want to get it out of this container next season. We do have a nice big mica that I would like to put this in, but we'll see what kind of condition it is come spring. But right now it's a little bit rough. I hope it bounces back. Rough. I wonder what happened. That's the update on the hackberry. All right, here is the parrot's beak. And boy, we get a lot of prunings a year. I think we did at least 2. Pop it. Encourage a little bit of taper as well. And now is sitting up real up high. I mean, it's probably around about here, but now roots have made their way all the way down to the bottom again. This is one of the most resilient tropical trees I've ever worked on, the parrot's beak. So while I do these prunes, I considered the directional pruning method. Press gently and cut. Well, I think there's a lot to consider in the future, but for the moment, I think we're at a good spot to stop and get it back in the greenhouse to fill out a lot more. I think we're pretty good for now, but I think I did maybe 1 or 2 off camera because you've seen it work a million times. The progress of the trunk thickening is happening so quick. I remember this thing being less than my pinky, and now it's as fat as my thumb. One suggestion from Nigel was perhaps taking the whole top off here. We're talking about getting rid of this and starting fresh with just this little bit. I thought about it. It would be quite a lot to lose. The straightness of it is still a bit odd. But you know, a little wabi-sabi is not too bad. I've considered it, Nigel, and it would take a lot, because right now it does look really good. Like if we were just take this off, this whole little bit looks amazing, and that would actually be a great looking starter to a tree there. And it's something I'll consider. Perhaps I'll do it. Maybe it would be a good project for us to air layer this and see if this takes air layer. I haven't got any of these shoots to produce a rooted cutting, so I don't know how well it will actually root from cutting. I don't know if it'll root if I was to just take this and shove it into soil. So I'd like to try at least air layer. So that's the next project for this, is the air layer parrot's beak. But that's the whole year of growing season for this, and it will continue to grow. It will continue to grow this winter in the greenhouse. But for now, that's the parrot's beak. All right, here is my tiger bark microficus. Pretty cool, pretty sweet. It's grown really well from its last repot. And as you can see, it's not in the right position. My problem was I put it in there and didn't think about it. I don't know what I was thinking, and I didn't do anything about it. It's actually not even wired to the tree right now, this container, so I could have done something about it, but you know, sometimes I let things go, and this is a testament of why you should definitely consider and wait before you decide to finish your repot. You want to make sure that it's positioned correctly, and this is an example of that. I didn't do that. But next season we're going to definitely get it into this container, clean it up a little more, and make sure it's sitting in the correct orientation. And I think we're looking all right. I want to bring this down a little more. That would look great. Great movement, great shapes. I'm really liking this little tree. That's the microcarpa. And speaking of which, we got another one here too. So this here is the triple chunk. The triple chunk. This here is the triple trunk microcarpa. It's grown rather well. What can I say about it that I've just let it grow. We repotted it, put it into the Jeff Ray container. This is just all wood. This thing is going to fall apart one day, but for now it's doing all right as a nice natural container. That's 1 year of progress. Well, actually, it's not 1 year. That's just the update on it. This is the Brazilian rain tree, the mother of all the other ones that we have. This was the subject of our air layer attempt this season, which did not take. You can see it did heal itself up. There's a little bit of back that didn't happen, but definitely it bridged right there. So not too bad, it's okay. Oh, we're getting some nice exfoliating bark happening. Not sure what we're going to be doing to this. We're just letting it grow. I wanted to get rid of this and start developing this a little more. I just may start from scratch, but either way, this is not much to update about this guy. Just let it grow. I do need to trim it really badly, so. This here's my crepe myrtle. Wonderful crepe myrtle grown from seed, I believe. I'm not sure. I didn't get it I got it as a little older tree here. It flowered twice this season, as it normally will. And then towards the end of its growing season, the leaves always look really nasty. They look moldy at times. They just look gross, but the tree's perfectly healthy. That's just what all crepe myrtles sort of look like. Their winter colors aren't great. And I think it's because it's probably from the sweet nectar from the seeds or whatever, from the flowers. But look at this, it's been great. Now this definitely has been sitting in this container for far too long, and it's gonna get itself a new container next season. So many new containers, I'm gonna need to get some new containers. I don't think I have enough. And I want something nice for this crepe myrtle because it is a beautiful tree. We're gonna wait for everything to sort of fall off before we give it a pruning. Maybe wait for it to be dormant before we prune it. But right now it's looking great, and I think the bark's ready to exfoliate. But yeah, this is one of my favorites. I can't wait for a repotting next season. That's the crepe myrtle. This here's my willow leaf, the mother willow leaf that we've used plenty of these root cuttings to make other trees. Here we just recently repotted this a couple months ago, and look, doesn't skip a beat. These things are just they're wonderful, robust trees. There's the back of it. Such full growth. I've had wonderful success with this tree this season. I think we can start profiling it and getting some, definition in the canopy. Look at that. We're actually getting some really cool, dense foliage here. A little high here, but look at that. We can get us a nice umbrella-looking tree here one of these days. Super stoked on this one. That's the update. The greenhouse, we got an update. It's looking quite nice. I got some pothos. I thought I'd make this more tropical with some vines here going through here. I think it looks nice. And then I've got a new greenhouse heater that I've been testing in the garage when I'm cold. But here's the update on a couple of other trees we've got. So first things first, we've got the Premnas. These is 2 out of 3. One of them completely dried out. I really have not been taking care of them. As you can see, they've kind of been offshoots. So I've been letting them just grow without any sort of pruning, which they will grow and prune. They will grow into some wonderful looking trees. I've neglected them, sadly, but not next year. We'll figure something out with them next year. The baobab's looking okay. After the big chop, let's look at some of these. Yeah, that cutting's not happening. That's definitely dead. This one as well. Update on the cuttings, by the way. Should have said something. And look, I'm seeing some of that mushroom or that fungus that's growing on the Yamadori out there. But then we have this one, and that one actually looks like that may grow. So we'll see what will happen with that. Here's the Barbados cherry that we repotted earlier this year. I think maybe just a couple months ago. And as you can see, it is back to growing. We left it pretty bare, didn't we? Here's something that we repotted this season, and I wasn't too happy with, but we still posted it up anyway. Was this massive aerial root microcarpa here. It just does not look great to me. It doesn't look, you know, like anything, and I'm not really happy with this. So I think what I'm going to do this next season is I'm going to reuse this pot for something else, because this is a nice container, mica container, and we'll figure out what to do with this in the future. But I'm not too. It's an ugly tree, so I don't know if you have ugly trees in your garden, but this one is just a bit ugly. It needs to be dealt with. We recently repotted this bogey into this wonderful big mica container. I'm happy about this mica container, by the way. These mica containers are great. And as you can see, we are getting lots of leafage, and it's starting to flower again. And the new front of it, so we had it right here, I think it's beautiful because we have this nice Jabba the Hutt here. Boomashama. The Jedi mind tree. It's my Jabba bogey. But boy, it's beautiful looking. Quite happy with its progress. We may have to get rid of this wire here soon because we know it bites in very quickly, and I may even see some biting already over there, so got to get to it right away. That's the update on the bogey. All right, we have the update on the Brazilian rain tree that we let grow in a big container. It's not dead, but do I see any signs of buds ready to pop out? Not quite. We'll keep you updated. I might see something here, but right now I think it's recovering after such a traumatic event. Some of the viewers were saying how they chopped off some roots off of their Brazilian rain tree and lost the whole top of their tree. So we'll see what happens with this one. Experimentation is half the fun of bonsai. But we'll see. Actually, if we actually look really close, I do see some green popping right there. So we may just see this pop right back and do what we think it's going to do. Grow like crazy. All right, that's the update on this Brazilian rain tree. All right, here's a companion. This is the Bloodwood tree. It's something I've had in the collection for a little bit, but it's been neglected. It used to be a tree that stood like this. Now it sort of is fallen over and created its own little raft style. I think this needs to be repotted into a bigger container, and I really would like to see this raft develop. And I just saw it down here. It gets neglected. As you can see, it gets probably really dry at times, and it bounces right back once I water the heck out of it. So this needs some love, and it will get a new home next season. Well, I'm really happy with the progress of these Brazilian rain trees. I can already tell the other one over there has got some green growing all right off the trunk. And this one absolutely is showing a lot of sign of growth after that repot. So we're definitely going to see these thrive. And look at how wonderful this tree is. And if you look really close, you'll find that there's lots of buds popping everywhere. Buds are a popping on this Brazilian rain tree. This is one of the latest trees that we worked on this season. And as long as we keep this greenhouse above 50 all year long, we'll get plenty of growth in these tropicals throughout all year long. It's crazy. So it's just the beginning of the season. It's going to be a little bit of a slower growing season for the tropicals, but nonetheless, another growing season is upon us when it comes to tropicals. This here's the Fukien tree that we repotted this season so that it would look like a cascade, and we actually did the root over rock here. I'm looking back at it and seeing that the roots are definitely looking good. I think next season we'll go ahead and start removing a lot of the moss to really start showing the grip that the roots have. I fear that the roots are growing into the medium here, so we will have to try to see what happens. But so far it's looking okay. The tree is healthy, and you know, Fukien trees on this channel just seem to be trees that we just cannot kill no matter what, because these got very dry and lost all their leaves. They defoliate themselves sometimes, but then they pop back just like this and super green, super lush. Great beginner trees. This is my Portulacara afra, the elephant bush, and this is my variegated version. This was I'm not sure, I don't remember where I got it. It was just a little $2 cutting at a grocery store or something, and I loved that it was variegated, so I picked it up. And it's developed quite nicely. It is getting a little too heavy, so it's leaning backwards. I need to repot this. But right now it looks wonderful. I can't believe how nice we got for this $2 cutting. The cork is barking, which I really like. And it just makes a great little beginner tree. That's another one of those ones. If you want to get started and you just feel like you may kill your tree, then you don't have to worry about watering this every single day. Certainly do not. And if you even miss a watering, like it got too long, you'll be able to see that it'll shrivel up. Those leaves shrivel up a little bit, but that's just telling you I need a little water. I'm starting to take water from the leaves. If you don't mind, hook me up and we'll refill those leaves, and you're good for another week or two until you need to water it. But look at how beautiful that is, and it's definitely in need of another pruning soon. But that is the update on the Portulacara afra variegated. Bing! Here's the bald cypress. We put it in this wet box a couple months ago, and the wet box is not holding up. It's starting to leak, which is okay. I've got some advice where I got some pond liner, PVC pond liner, and we're actually going to just reuse this box, but I'm going to line it with that plastic, which is going to be just fine. But at the moment, it's not the season to even be swamping this. Basically, the idea, if you want to get tree's knees on a bald cypress, first of all, it needs to be over 10 years old, and second, you need to flood it during the growing season. Basically, we're going to make this completely submerged in water during the growing season, and this is going to encourage those root knees to pop up. In one growing season, we may have knees, but before that happens, we're going to make sure to take this out, and we're going to plant it lower in this next time. But at the moment, you can see that it's been growing quite nicely. I'm quite happy with its progress, and we'll see what to do with this come spring. We're going to get rid of some of this grass, and we're going to repot it in the pond liner there. So that is the bald cypress update. This here is an American elm that we planted on top of one of my Ebihara Los plates. By now, I'm sure that it's completely eaten it up, and we're ready to see the progress of this. We haven't seen any of the signs of yellowing for it to be like, oh, it's ready for us to prune it. But I think as soon as all the leaves are gone, we're going to prune it down, and then come spring, we're going to remove it completely and see what it is that we've created here. And I'm excited because it is thickened up. It is about as thick as my thumb now. All right, that's been one growing season. I hope you enjoyed watching all the progress. If you like our content, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell icon. We'll see y'all next time. Be cool, stay hip, get yourself a hobby. Bye.